The big story for the day could be railway budget, which will be tabled on the floor of Parliament in less than 2 hours. What are the expectations from this year's railway budget? Let's discuss that with the two industry veterans. Sachin Bhanushali, President with Gateway Rail Freight, who joins us live from New Delhi. And along with him, we've got Mr. A.P. Verma, Director Finance with Kalindi Rail Nirman. Sachin, let me kickstart the discussion with you. Do you expect that in today's rail budget, the railway minister will bite the bullet and he will announce a freight hike?
Good morning, Nikunj. Thanks, Itina. I think this is the only opportunity which is available for this government to correct the anomalies which are there in the railway finances. If you look at the railway issues, there are basically three issues: capacity, resources, and the classical freight versus passenger issue, wherein there is a huge amount of 25,000 crores worth cross subsidy taking place from the freight income to the cost of running passenger services at a subsidized price. So to some extent, I think correction has already been done by way of the correction in the passenger freights, but nothing has been done for 10 years before that. So there is a lot of distance to be traveled to bring it to a correct level. If you compare it internationally, we have the highest freight rates and the lowest passenger rates. This has to be corrected. The social goal cannot be missed while correcting this, but at the same time, we have to ensure that the user ends up paying at least for the cost of the service. Whereas in case of freight, what is happening is that freight is getting overloaded with the cost of unit cost of production of railways, and that is resulting into excessive charge on the freight user. In turn, finally, the consumer gets affected because of this, because everything like an indirect tax has to be passed on to the customer by way of the freight rate as well. So I expect that these three issues will be addressed by the minister positively. On the resource mobilization front, I think there is a lot of scope for mobilizing resources from the private sector by way of PPP. Unfortunately, railways have not been very forthcoming as well as positive towards the private investor in rail space. I think that expectation as well as perception needs to be corrected by railways by taking some solid action on consistency in policy, not changing the rules of the game after the game has started, not changing the goalposts, etc. I hope that all these issues get sorted out in today's rail budget.
Mr. A.P. Verma, Director Finance at Kalindi Rail Nirman as well joins in. Mr. Verma, hi, morning. What are your expectations from the rail budget? With the railway minister this time from UPA2 after a gap of almost 15 years at the helm of affairs?
My expectation is that first thing that it should be better than last year. That if DFCC, if the freight corridor is languishing since quite some time, of course it has caught speed. But then like land acquisition, I'm told that 80% they have already acquired, both for eastern and western corridor. But then things are going very slow. Right, regarding metro projects, of course, Delhi Metro is in the right path. Bombay is lagging behind. Now I am told Kochi has also been approved. Jaipur is going on but they are also lagging behind. So a lot of further speed is required. What I feel that a new boost-up is required in the new budget. Now, when the new railway minister has come, things. The party is also in a better position to take some positive steps. So I think things should improve.
The point which I want to discuss with you is that what do you think this year's railway budget could do to really encourage private sector participation? The challenge is not opportunity. The challenge is that the private sector currently is not keen to align with Indian Railways.
As I mentioned, private sector is wary of the inconsistent behavior of railway policy in general. The past experience has been investments have been made by private sector in railway-related assets with a certain business premise, and the rules of that business have changed over a period of time after the business started. Now, this is something which a private sector entity cannot both expect as well as anticipate and be ready for. That is why I think some stability in terms of the rules of investment as well as a decent return on this investment being turned out at least after 3 to 4 years of investment is the basic minimum expectation that any private sector entity would have. Apart from that, getting private sector will also help railways in bringing in efficiency, particularly in the service delivery part of it. So by developing terminals, freight terminals, by allowing the on-board services on passenger trains, by allowing private freight terminals to prosper, by allowing private trains to be operated on Indian Railway network, Indian Railways stand to gain a lot. But for that, they will have to have the patience of allowing the private businesses to flourish, make money, and at the same time attract more traffic from road to rail. I think one of the sectors which I represent, which is container train operators sector, has faced a lot of choppy waters while dealing with railways in terms of the rating policy as well as the operations policy. Railways need to correct that perception in the minds of investors as well as the entrepreneurs.
Mr. Verma, fast-tracking of high-speed rail transport, dedicated freight corridors are the need of the hour right now. Will necessary steps be implemented this time to steamroll over past hurdles, or will chinks in the chain cause more unscheduled halts?
Yeah, I do expect fast tracking now. Now this is the, the election year is very new. So I do feel that things should be fast tracked to give a positive picture to the public. Now, regarding this high-speed trains, bullet trains, it has already been cleared. In principle, approval is already there for the 7 corridors, like Pune, Bombay, Ahmedabad, or Delhi, Jaipur, Jodhpur, or Delhi, Lucknow, Patna, Calcutta, Haldia, and this Chennai, Coimbatore via Bangalore. All these 3 projects have been approved. So I think that the time has come that we should push these projects. We are far behind China. They have already having high-speed trains at 350 km per hour. Why can't we have those things? It will change the entire scenario in the country. The things come. And I do hope that the government will take adequate steps in this line.
Final question, Mr. Verma. According to you, what incentives or schemes will propel increased interest from private players to boost participation in the PPP projects, where the scope is still high but participation is low?
Yeah, till date, of course, some steps have been taken for private sector investment in the railway projects. But then the way it should go, it has not been there. A lot of PPP projects should come in the pipeline, and I am told, like even in the Delhi Airport Express line was under PPP mode, but that has, it has taken its own problems are there. It has stopped working for so many years, so many months. So I think the whole scheme has to be made investor friendly. Otherwise, this will not work. Though there is a lot of scope, a lot of money can come in by private sector, and government should be in a position to tap these resources and proceed accordingly. And like this container development, even the metro projects, like the Hyderabad Metro, where the 80% funding of 20,000 crore investment is being done by the private sector, L&T. So that is with other metro projects also should come in the same fashion, and there should be adequate reward to the investor. Otherwise, things will not come up.